Good morning, graduates, guests, faculty colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful morning, isn't it, for this celebration? Welcome to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Feridun Hamdalapur. I have the honor of serving as president and vice president of this great university, and it's my privilege to welcome you all to campus this morning. Before we start this celebration, however, it is important to acknowledge and pay respect to the elders, past and current, of the neutral Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples. We're gathered today on their traditional territory as the University of Waterloo sits on the Haldimand Track, the land promised to the Six Nations people along the Grand River. Now, if you could please rise. And I'm delighted to invite Birgit Moshinsky to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Car ton bras est porté les pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Birgit. Please be seated. Morning again. The chancellor of our university, Mr. Tom Jenkins, is the ceremonial head of our institution. That means he presides over all convocation ceremonies. And he would normally be here today. Unfortunately, he has to be somewhere else for a very important reason, to attend his own son's convocation ceremony. So we forgive him for that. However, he sends his best wishes and regards and congratulates our graduating class this morning. And let me express further that what he would have shared with you first. He will thank the parents and those who supported our graduates here all the way, that every step of the way, whenever they needed you, they needed your support, they needed your help, they needed your money, you were there. And look at them. They're brilliant, they're smiling, they're glowing. It's fantastic. They're so happy that they have achieved an unbelievable milestone here. And I'm looking at you, you're glowing as well. As the chancellor will say, they're probably off your payroll now. Today, we're celebrating their achievements. They decided to come to the University of Waterloo and study here, establish their career here, and that was a very important moment. It was a very important decision. You helped them. Again, on behalf of all my colleagues, thank you so much. I also take this opportunity to thank my faculty colleagues who are sitting behind me that I believe they have added something to your brilliance, then you are here and you are determined to go out and do some marvelous things. Our ceremony, convocation ceremony, is a very festive one. And I can assure you that looking at the size of this class, we're going to do it under 2 hours, okay? We're determined to do that. But, however, graduates, you're graduates right now. Until you hear a magic word, then you'll transform into graduates, but you are graduates right now. It's not over yet, okay? There may be a pop quiz here and there, so in between, so wait for it. But we will begin with conferring an honorary degree on an individual who has distinguished themselves in the academy. We will then confer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Finally, the award will be presented to a faculty member to acknowledge in excellence in teaching, and medals will be presented to graduating students who have excelled in their studies. While this is happening, and the provost will give you very detailed instructions, please remain in your seats until the end of the ceremony, and then we will all enjoy the celebration very much. I will come back at the end and put my president's hat and talk to you again. But in the meantime, and I will repeat this later, the only thing I will ask of you before we confer your degrees, please remain engaged with your alma mater. With that, thank you so much again for joining us this morning. It's my pleasure to invite Professor Barry Warner, Professor of Earth Sciences in the Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Vice Chancellor, I present Curtis J. Richardson. Curtis Richardson completed his PhD in ecology at the University of Tennessee in 1972, after which he joined the University of Michigan as an assistant professor. In 1977, he was appointed an associate professor at Duke University, where he has spent the remainder of his career. Richardson currently holds the John O. Blackburn Distinguished Professorship, one of the highest academic honors Duke University bestows on its faculty, and he now is in the Nicholas School of the Environment. His research emphasizes phosphorus and metal biogeochemistry of natural and restored wetlands. He has addressed some of the most important wetland issues of our time, including long-term studies on the effects of nutrient additions in wetlands in Michigan, Pocosin peatland losses in North Carolina, the restoration of the Everglades of Florida, and the globally endangered wetlands in southern Iraq. He is a strong advocate of high-quality science and science-based policies, regulations in professional practice, and wetland protection in a highly variable and unpredicted future climate. Dr. Richardson is a consummate university professor. He is a thinker, an innovator, and enthusiastic scientist, as evidenced by his long list of published books and scientific papers. He is an effective communicator and respected mentor, which speaks to his passion for students and teaching. He served his university as department chair and acting dean, and his profession as president of the Society of Wetland Scientists, advisor on innumerable government panels, and member of many scientific editorial boards. In 2000, he initiated SWAMP, the Stream Wetland Management Assessment Park, which is a project aimed at restoring all wetlands and streams on the Duke University campus. SWAMP has become a powerful showpiece for teaching, research, and public education. Vice Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding academic contributions and service to his profession, I request that you bestow the title Doctor of Science, honoris causa, upon Curtis Richardson.
Curtis, if you could remove your hat, yes. I'm honored to confer upon you Curtis J. Richardson, the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa, and I extend my sincere congratulations.
Thank you very much. I now invite Dr. Richardson to the podium to address Convocation. Thank you, Barry, for that kind introduction. Today, I'm going to try to address you on some aspects that I think are important. I call this sort of science, truth, and the media wars. So I'll start out by talking about this great day, June 14th. So on behalf of the President, Hamdullah Par, and the members of the administration, distinguished faculty, honored guests, family, and friends, we come together to honor and congratulate the graduating class of 2018. What a proud day for science. Before I get into the mind-numbing part of my speech, which you will probably not remember, I want to give you 3 factlets. These are little, small, probably unimportant but interesting facts. Maybe it'll help you remember this wonderful June 14th. As you know, many things have happened on June 14th in the past, some memorable, some maybe not so. But 177 years ago, on June 14th in 1841, the first Canadian Parliament opens in Kingston, Ontario, just down the road. Maybe not so memorable for some, but an important fact. 171 years ago, on June 14th in 1847, this science group should recognize a little bit of this, Robert von Bunsen invents a gas burner, some of which you have used, some teachers around the world still use. Sort of a great factlet for maybe science nerds, but maybe not so memorable. But I think I have one. 72 years ago, on June 14th, 1946, a man was born who is today altering the entire climate of the planet, environmentally, socially, economically, and of course politically, through the media. A man listed in Who's Who as the billionaire master builder. Yes, the one and only Donald Trump. Certainly he will make June 14th memorable for many of us. So, how did we all get here today? I want to thank Waterloo University, especially Dr. Barry Warner of Earth and Environmental Sciences faculty, for nominating me for this great honor to speak to you today. But I feel that being in Ontario today is like coming home in a way, because my Richardson ancestors immigrated from York, England, to farmland outside of Toronto in the early 1800s. And then some of the family moved to upstate New York and to become dairy farmers, where I was the 5th generation. But my ties to Canada are more deeply rooted than that, since my mother's parents, the Lapierres, moved from rural France to somewhere outside of Montreal, and in the early 1900s moved to Tupper Lake, New York, where her father was a lumberjack and a stonemason. Thus, my origins and love of the environment are deeply rooted in the geology, soils, waters, wetlands, and forests of Canada. Now let me say I would not be here today without quality students and faculty who are in this room, like who are in this room today. By that, I mean whatever my contributions are to ecology and environmental science, they are in large part due to the high quality of students and fellow faculty that I was fortunate to have as colleagues and fellow researchers during my 40 years at Duke. The lesson here is clear. There is no substitute for surrounding yourself with high quality, first-rate people who have a great work ethic, high intelligence, and most importantly, high
ethical standards. In addition, it would not be possible for me to have had my career without my amazing, supporting, and loving wife, who's sitting here today enjoying me, and of course my son and daughter, who through the years gave us great joy and purpose in life. I bring this up because most of you would not be here today getting this degree except for the support and sacrifice of a lot of people like your parents, grandparents, spouse, partners, and friends, and of course great teachers. So you would not have made it here without them, nor will you succeed in life in your careers without them. They give your life's work meaning, and so those graduates today, let's give thanks to those people. Because they deserved it and they earned it. So I can give you some free advice, but as my dad used to say, it's worth what you pay for it. So as to wisdom, I cannot offer much since most of you are smarter and better educated than I am. Note, I said most. With the great education you now possess, and by being both astute and perceptive of the environment and people around you, you can now shape the world you wish to live in. So you don't need, nor will you remember, any words of wisdom I drop on you today, or take any platitudes to heart that we've all heard at earlier graduations. In fact, the author, Carl Hyacin, who's from Florida, writes very funny books where the environment always wins against the bad guys. But he recently wrote a book, which my wife gave me, called Assume the Worst, subtitled The Graduation Speech You'll Never Hear. He suggests one key to obtaining a meaningful life of achievement is to disregard the lame platitudes you'll hear in commencement speeches. And one of his favorite lines is, which I like, is, live each day as it is your last. Now that sounds appealing until you realize if it's truly your last day on earth, then being at this ceremony and listening to my graduation speech is cutting deeply into your last 24 hours. And thus my rendering of platitudes like follow your dream, find your place in the world, don't be quick to judge people, be bold, are not going to help you as your precious time ticks away. Well, my main message today is really back to science, media, and truth. And I want to give you one task for the day before I finish, and that is master the media. You must accomplish this task to have a more successful career and have your work have any impact. Now, the knowledge base, computing power, and technical capacity you have before you in science is unparalleled. As Tim Cook, the CEO at Apple, said at Duke's recent graduation ceremony, no generation has ever had more power than yours, and no generation has a chance to change things faster than you can. But there are dangers with this power and knowledge, as we all know. Scientists and engineers have been working tirelessly developing amazing new technologies, drugs, software, energy-efficient buildings, AI, all which advances our society and the world and provides a higher standard of living. But scientists live and publish in a bubble where replicated experiments, algorithms, statistics, model predictions, and words like probability, precision, accuracy are seldom decoded for the public and the media. Thus, science is often ignored, misunderstood, not interpreted correctly, or misused. Moreover, we are now bombarded with all sorts of internet outlets like Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, wikis, Flickr, email, and blogs, giving everyone a chance to give their often uneducated opinion on any topic, including science. Many newscasts blast 24/7 with talking heads loaded with just their opinions, which are unfortunately given equal weight to facts, science information, and data. Thus, real evidences are often swept up in politically charged fake news category. It took me years to learn that in the media, perception is often reality. To the public and to the scientific findings and career reputations that took decades to build, they can be trashed in a matter of seconds by fake news. So scientists have been caught up in this media storm and are often forced to try to persuade the public that their information is not based on opinion, but rather science, based on repeated experiments and trials and predictive models that have been verified over and over by multiple scientists. I remember John Oliver, the British comedian on his TV show, one day demonstrating why scientists presenting facts often doesn't work in the media. The media's dumbheaded approach, he posed, is often presenting two scientists in white coats on opposite sides of an issue like climate change, debating whether or not the rise in greenhouse gases over the past 200 years is man-made and warming of the planet is causing sea level rise. To the public, these one-on-one debates appear to be a standoff. But Oliver cleverly pointed out these one-on-one media contests, and this approach is nonsense. And then he paraded out Bill Nye, the science guy, and 99 other scientists in a white coat on the climate side, and then one lonely climate denier on the other side, demonstrating the true weight of science and the scientific community on this topic. Now, Marshall McLuhan, the great Canadian philosopher, futurist, and communicator, coined the phrase, "The medium is the message," but in fact often punned on the words message, changing it to mess age or mass age, and loved the fact, due to a printing error, they published his great 67 book and entitled it, "The Medium is the Massage," instead of the message. He loved it. McLuhan's foresights about the impact of new media that he wrote over 50 years ago are now being realized as we face information transmitted at unprecedented speeds. He portrays technology as an extension of man, illustrating how our senses are massaged and our perceptions altered as these devices become more integral parts of our lives. Today, one might argue the medium is the monster. We used to say, don't believe all you read in the newspapers, but today we need to realize and understand you cannot believe all you hear or even see. That should be easy for you graduates, since Waterloo's motto, as I'm sure you all know, is Concordia cum veritate, or harmony with truth. You can write that down. So one of your generation's most important tasks, and the one I had for you today, is to master the media and translate your science and findings so the public understands its importance and clearly separates fact from fiction. I'll give you with one quick example of how useful the media can be if used properly. It was shown to me several weeks ago at a national conference on wetlands where Dr. McKee, a wetland scientist, gave a paper and noted that her publications on sea level rise and mangroves had gotten nearly 40 reads in the past few months. However, her 2-minute video on the same topic with scientific references shown at the end on YouTube had 7,000 viewings. Scientists need to learn to master the media. So I'll leave you with several insights, which I've used throughout my life and career, which may sound trite sitting out there, but they're often keys, what I consider, to a successful career in life, regardless of what path you take. Surprisingly, I learned these in the field of competitive sports, where you learn how to contest and win, but most importantly, you learn how to lose with grace. First, don't ever give up, even when you lose, and you will lose along the way. But the lessons learned, and most importantly, the ability to come back from defeat and compete, are essential to your success in any endeavor you undertake. Second, and I'll use a sports image here, next play. By this I mean, if you make a mistake, don't dwell on it. It's in the past, you can learn from it, but you can't change it. As Mike Krzyzewski, the head basketball coach of our USA Olympic team and Duke men's team, and one of the best motivational leaders and speakers I've ever heard, says, and I quote, "Whatever you have done is not nearly as important as what you're doing right now and will do." The next play philosophy emphasizes the fact that the most important play of the game or the life moment on which you should always focus is the next one. Finally, as you become successful in your careers, as I know you will have to work hard at staying in contact with your friends so the relationships will continue and grow. Friendships and family, along with love, make life worthwhile. Congratulations again to the class of 2018, and remember, next play. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome. I'm George Dixon, and I'm the Vice President Academic and Provost here at Waterloo. First, I would like to thank Dr. Richardson for those insightful comments, very much appreciated. And I would also like to welcome him to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Would the members of the graduating class please rise as you are able? Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Waterloo that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. For those of you that are not up on the traditions of convocation, that was the important bit. That's where you actually got the degree, okay? I would now like to invite Richard Nguyen to come forward and deliver the valedictory address. Richard. This is the 5th convocation I've done so far this year, and this is also the 5th time that the valedictorian has been sitting close to the back of the hall. So we make the valedictorian work.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, guests, and fellow graduates, we are gathered here today to celebrate the end of a remarkable chapter within our journeys. Whether this is your first degree, your second degree, or another step in your career path, I hope you know that it is an incredible achievement to be sitting in this very room today. Now, this not only goes to our graduates, but also to our friends and family who are joining us as well. Thank you for all your support these past few years. We honestly couldn't have done it without you, and we applaud you. Now I'd like to take some time to reflect on the past, because for many of us, our journeys didn't start here in Waterloo. They started way back in our childhood, where we had all sorts of dreams. We dreamed of wild inventions, dreamed of traveling the world. We even dreamed of being as tall as our parents one day. And many of us also dreamed of becoming superheroes. Yes, those people clad in colorful costumes and long flowing capes. We aspired to be them. Today, I can proudly say that I stand in front of hundreds of heroes. You may not wear capes, but you have worn lab coats over the years. And today, you wear these gowns as graduates of science. You also share many of the same qualities as those heroes you once aspired to be. You are all strong and brave. You have persevered through so much during these past few years. And you have impacted so many lives during your time here. Our experiences at Waterloo have shaped us into the heroes we are today. For many of us, it was our first time moving away from home. And with that, we got to meet all kinds of wonderful people. We've learned from each other, grown together, spent countless hours trying to figure out why we weren't getting the same answers on those sample midterms. We feared making mistakes in the lab, struggled to secure jobs, and hopelessly chased after so many buses that we missed by just a couple seconds. We even got that snow day that we wished for all these years, though it had to have happened at the very last moment. Each of us has our own unique story to share And I hope you look back at the memories you made here in order to help build the foundation for a better tomorrow, to inspire future generations, and to become the hero that someone else looks up to. We live in a world that is constantly changing. New species are constantly being discovered. Theories old and new are always being explored. And technology has reached astonishing heights. But even with this constant influx of change, we must not forget about the human potential. Each and every one of you has the ability to change the world and to impact others in all kinds of different ways. But even with all this power in our hands, the future can still look unclear. And honestly, it's kind of scary. Some of you are going on to further your studies. Some of you are going on to work in the industry or academia. And some of you will be taking a well-deserved break. Whatever you choose to do, take your time. What really matters is that you're pursuing something that brings you happiness, wherever that may be. Throughout my undergrad, I thought that not seeing my friends for the next 4 months or so was pretty sad. But now that I'm standing up here today, I realize that many of us might not be seeing each other for quite some time. So please, stay connected with one another. There's still so much that we can learn from each other, and still so much growing that we can do together. So before we part ways today, I would like to impart some wise words I once heard from some heroes of mine. In a forest, far, far away, our friend Christopher Robin once said to Winnie the Pooh, "If ever there's a tomorrow where we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." As we leave here today, remember to always keep dreaming, to always strive towards new goals, and to always work towards becoming that hero that you want to be. And as cheesy as it sounds, remember to believe in yourself. And during those times that you don't, remember that there are so many people sitting in this very room today that do believe in you. And with that, I would like to congratulate the class of 2018.
Thank you, Richard. Valedictory addresses are not an easy thing to do, and you've done it very well. Mr. Vice Chancellor, honored guests, colleagues, and participants, it's a great day for a convocation, although frankly I find it hard to see what would not be a great day for a convocation. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient traditions, rights, privileges, and duties, and there's a duality about convocation. On one hand, we're celebrating past accomplishment. On the other hand, we're anticipating the promise of new beginnings. There's very few things that you do in life will carry with it that dynamic all wrapped into one event and activity. On behalf of the University of Waterloo administration team, I would like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. To the parents, family, and friends of our graduates, especially those of you who have traveled from afar to be here, thank you. To the university community for developing these scholars and delivering this outstanding event for our new alumni, thank you. And of course, we acknowledge the presence of those, we acknowledge those who are unable to join us today. I suspect that those folks are in everyone's thoughts. I'd like to do something a little bit different. I would like to request that the graduates remain seated and that all of the parents, family, friends, and event coordinators and the band please rise as you are able. Now I would like you to look around and wave. Graduates, you can wave too. Funnily enough, you will find that people will wave back at you. That's the nature of being human, okay? I would now request that the graduates give a round of applause to all of those who have supported them. Thank you. Please be seated. As we prepare to confer degrees, I have a couple of housekeeping notes that I would like to put forward. First, with respect to photographs, for guests wishing to take photographs of their graduates, there is a photography area to the left of the stage, which can be accessed by coming down the aisle that is also on the left of the stage. So folks over there go along the back and down this side, and this is the photography area. Once you have taken your photographs, please return to your seats to allow space for others to take photographs of their special graduates. We confer degrees in alphabetical order. Please remember that some students' names begin with an A, which actually means that others will begin with a Z. It is not their fault, okay? Please show respect for your fellow classmates by returning to your seat after being hooded so that we can all enjoy Convocation together. Now for the good stuff. We'll proceed to confer some degrees. I would like to invite Robert Lemieux, Dean of the Faculty of Science, and Marley Spafford, Associate Dean, Undergraduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to announce the names of graduates. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, General Science, 3-year. Raoul Abu Mari, Connor Williams Barons, Fong Dong Cam, Celine Chandro Chang, Angelo Gabriel de Assis, Mohammed Fahim. Madison Denise Fairburn, Sarah D. Fowler, Taryn Ann Francis Hagan, Jabulani Jenny Jubani, Rafa Khan, Amber LeBlanc, Lauren Judith Lesage, Zi Shi Li, Linda Mangera, Isaac Abraham Mebrahatu, Cameron Spencer Mills, Wing Chu Pan, Descend Parikh, Christina Joy Sanjaran, Vida Christi Anunciado Segovia, Agala Santha Gunaraja, Nalasha Thalayan, Jacob Tsung, Shisen Wang, Jai Yan, Derek Zhang, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Science. Marina Abadir, Shahir Ahmed, Ryan John Austin. Sahaj Bakshi, Samala Balasubramaniam, Callum Barnes. Jasdeep Bassi, Chantel Emma Borelli, Sarah Jessica Canini. Isabel Marie Carroting, Yi Chen, Matthew Wei-Hyun Chin, Andrea Mei Yan Choi, Sukhpreet Kaur Chauhan, Palma Rosita Alexandra Maria Colalancia, Gabriel Dawood, Jessica Du, Andrea Farron, Shannon Margaret Floto, Emma Gaffney, Malia Ghani, Alexander Michael Goodyear, Taylor Rain Green, Mancairn Gruel, Brendan Philip Gross, Vaishnavi Sushalabi Gupta, A. Yehun Ga, Lul Hassan, Samina Hayat, Macy Sukwan Hee, Andrew Terry Michael Hopkins, Emma Rose Hudswick, Xin Liang Hu, Scott Huxted, Manda Idzanovich, Anna Jaziak. Ashley Simone Johnson. Loveleen Kaur. Wezek Ahmad Khan. Jun Han Kim. Wano Joanne Ko. Christopher Tyler Koralik. Nikki Kotasha. Gerdish Kaur Kular. Navros S. Labana. Brian Lamb. Nicole Catherine Langlois. Michael John Latian. Jonathan Lau. Jessica C. Lee. Hao Lee. Rachel Karen Lee. Guanting Liu. Victor Manuel Lopez. Dana L. Loveland. Nicholas James Mackey. Mara Mihailescu. Leslie Mills. Jiahu Mo. Mayame Matthew. Irvin Singh Nahal. Nancy Chow Nguyen. Thuy Nikki Nguyen. Adriana Novakovic, Jay Patel, Rowan Polis. Valmi Rashtakant Patel, Roberto Jose Prudencio, Ramana Pushparaja, Caressa Ramral, Savanthi Ravichandran, Tahar Rimanji, Aman Rupra, Andy Saad, Danielle Muhammad Shakur, Erin Haig Shelvarjian, Amanpreet Kaur Singh, Siva, Christopher Chi Chung So, Grace So, Dorothy Olivia Soares, Seyun Sun, Amanda Soliguine, Samantha Lydia Sylvester, Zoe Cheyenne Talbot, Aparana Tharma Gulasingham, Abina Therakumar, Aaron Tran, Michelle Min Trong, Quan Min Vo, Vanessa H. Wareham, Colin R.J. Whaley, Victor Wei-Tu Wong, Mackenzie Donald Wright, Demetrios Christopher Xenakostas, Jason Chung Sang Yu, Yan Selena Zhou, Joshua Andrew Zundel, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors Biochemistry. Sarah Abubakar, Christine Antony, Tiffany Amanda Au, Dominique Armand Audet, Alina Aab, Disha Darshan Bagat, Sarah Celeste Bickers, Angel Arana Chan, Chuk Kin Derek Chan, Darian Joseph Chan, Lok Yan Chan, Sierra Ching Lian Chang. Kyle Alexander Chu, Matthew Demiandis, Lubna Dewan, Ziwan Dong, Kiera Michelle Drew, Gloria Edom. Jieji Fang, Timothy Tim Lun Ho, Lily Thui Hong, Grant Benjamin Jensen, Carly Kong, Andrew Yanyi Lee, Lena Chun Moy Lee Chun Fong, Michelle Bui Liang, Victor Robert Lataki. Wesley Liu, Allison Elizabeth Mark, Mohammed Danielle Mosan, Gita Era Mahua, Cynthia Ann Navadatam, Kevin Nguyen. Jeffrey Alexander Polamba, Yuti Perishba Patel, George Petrovsky, Derek John Ramos, Chelsea Louise Reitzel. Christopher Ronaldo. Parvinder Sahoda. Apeksha Sapkota. Evan Mitchell Fraser Shepherdson. Aiden Christopher Simone. Marcel Sosapele. Amanda Tejik. Danielle Yolanda Thompson. Nicole Thompson. Adrian William Van Dyke. Rahul Verghese. Nicholas Andrew Vahorv. Grant Wong. Vivian Pui Yan Young. Mikalia Ann Young. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Biotechnology, Chartered Professional Accountancy. Zheng Ying Yu, Monica Naguib, Jahana Nitharanja, Madhu Ravuru, Mark Siu Hong Tam, Jia Ching Tang. Kayla Marie Wallace, Wandy Zhu. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Chemical Physics. Zihyun Ji.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Chemistry. Marcus Abramovich, Matthew T. Baker, Sung Hao Bao, Wang Liang Chan, Yiji Chen, Mengyang Kui, Camille Chachor, Ryan Lexley Arthur Fitzgerald, Franklin Orville Frasca, Lisa Marie Grant, Claudia Anna Garasi, Sanjana Kartik, Alexander Kasperkowicz, Carolyn Michelle Kembo, Gabriel Jian Kerr Lee, Tyler Lott, Carlos Morales, Ryan Nicholas Motomura, Stephen Nguyen, Cassandra Marie Ilda Oliveira, Adam Sena, Sarah Margaret Steppen, David Simmons, Charles Ryan Teasdale, Jihao Yang, Mark Zanin, Rui Yi Zhao, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Earth Sciences. John Andrew Beckler, Matthew Ian Cannon, Hak Yong Cho, Jiyu Feng, Bethany Cassandra Gruber, Tiffany Coilas, Zechia Lee, Sarah Nicole Matthews, Andrew Salerno, Norman Yi Ho Shea, Eric Soa, Heather Rose Townsend, Luke James Valiquette, Anthony Daniel Zamperoni, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Environmental Sciences. Emma Rose Agbe Bushlotis, Hao Yu Samantha Chu, Kevin James Dahan, Maria Juliana Galvez Amaya, Samrit Singh Kang, Yujong Liu, Laura Kendall Neary, Demon Michael Neelan, Nicole Russell, Manpreet Kaur Sagu, Jordan Hillel Sider, Karan Kishav Sidwani, Sinka Sinclair Tsui, Melanie T., Kyle Ward, Kimberly Siu Y. Yu, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Geochemistry. Tung Cao. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Life Physics. Graham Neil Ross Deller, Yuquan Hu, Monica Kitor, Naveen Ramutar, Daniel Jason Sayre, Nicole Nguyen, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Materials and Nanosciences. Jacob Alfred Louis Bruning, Devon Antonio Filion, May Han, Torin Francis Hills, Connie Yik Ho, Matthew Lik Yan Kwong, Shweta Lad, Donghong Liu, Kwang Liu, Yutong Liu, Douglas John Pimlott, Fiorella Villanueva Heldmeyer, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Mathematical Physics. Connor Adair, Grant William Brassam, Sean Davis Thomas Clark, Keegan Riel Cove, Brian L. Curry, Royan Fan, Ryan Robert Ferguson, Laden Kolovich, Bo Liu, Federico Martin Rivera Kesti, Kiana Wan, Daniel K. Wong, Yan Chao, Liu Yu, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Medicinal Chemistry. Kevin Chung Ying Ma, Avery Joseph To, Carly Jean Breesy. This degree is being awarded posthumously and is being accepted by Carly's mother, Janice Breesy. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Physics. Zachary Taylor Barnes, Jamie German Bro, Emma Rose Ellingwood, Adam Moore Gartshore, Michael Tokiyoshi Hamill, Christine Erica Kofhold, Jong-Soo Lee, Benjamin McClellan, Anita Rachel Matthews, Nicholas Everett Nasenkin, William James Niga, Jiashong Shao, Adam Jordan Steinbach, Matthew Christopher Winter, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Physics and Astronomy. Michael James Chapman, Callie Inberg, Jacob Koenig, Niti Manish Patel, Bailey Alexander Robeson, Prabhakar Utai Kumar, Chuok U Vong, Christopher Joseph Zawarski, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Science and Aviation. Timothy Kenneth Brett, Joshua Julius, Ryan Anderson Parnoya, Tamara May Shaw, Wenhao Jerry Wang, Clement Kingman Yao, Jenna Yi, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, Honors, Science and Business. Mishal Ahmed, Joby Patil Anthony, Suresh Raj Aruna Giri Nathan, Nadia Idolina Baker, Jasdeep Birdie, Spencer Hugh Charles, Tiffany Chum, Miles Alexander Warning Coolin, Bianca D'Alessandro, Nancy Young Si Deng, Janice D'Souza, Bo Yao Duan, Catherine Grace Dick, Colleen Marie Fernandez, Joel Robert Furlan, Han Gao, Jeffrey James Hagan, Sandy Chui Wei Ho, Tamim Jedi, Jaya Jupiter Johnston, Jessica Brittany Keller, Braden King, Ores Kobelak, Sandy Jashin Lee, Fan Lu, Wilbur Luong, Gurshit Kaur Man, Mutahin Monzoor, Garima Nakpal, Richard Wen, Carolina Angelica Ortega, Sebastian Pawelchuk, Philippe Alexandre Pichet, Colin Ellison Pierce, Catherine Bojong Poon, Kitharan Puvananthiran, Rahil Salim Rajan, Javed Kayal Rahman, Courtney Amanda Savini, Caitlin Susanna Schropp, Monique Seymour, Sajini Harris Shah, Jiaquan Shen, Tanuya Sritaran, Sophie Claire Strobel, Shuai Tong, Jasmine Marie Tosson, Mayuri Visayanathan, Ava Wai-Ying Wong, William Ji Hao Yan, Yashi Yang, Yasmin Zaimi, Rafat Mohammed Nasif Zaman, Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. I now invite Kirsten Mueller, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Science. Chukwuemeka Martins Osogwa, Matthew Brown, Janice Marie Cooper, Adrian Delgado, Harmeen Kaur Deol, Jasmine Elio, Danica May Christine Ala Estavillo, Zhaoyu Hang, Jicheng Huang, Susie Jin, John Edmund Lapé, Wanshan Lin, Christian Enzo Joseph Mastromatai, Jianying Sheng, Jonathan Peter Stephan. Miriam St. Ange Carl, Han Sun, Kevin Tatishi. Richard Tran, Ying Wang, Yunyan Wang. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Ida Ahmadzadigan. Paulina Corona Ugaldi. Germán Augusto Gomez Rios. Jonathan Grandy. Michael Matsurek. Corey Ray Harrington McCrae. Mohammed Niknam. Long Pugh. Natalie Reyes Garcias. Alexander R. H. Smith. Jason Tao, Also the recipient of the W.B. Pearson Medal for recognition of creative research as presented in a student's doctoral thesis. Robert Mackay Taylor. Kier von Konigslov. Benjamin John Wales. Zhen Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer these degrees in absentia.
I now invite George Dixon, Vice President, Academic and Provost, to the podium.
The Distinguished Teacher Award was established by the Senate of the University of Waterloo to recognize individuals with a continued record of excellence in teaching at the university. Recipients must be nominated by their students and are selected by a committee consisting of undergraduate and graduate students, alumni, and faculty. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present Jake Fisher. Jake Fisher is a lab instructor in the Department of Chemistry and is renowned for his teaching by his students and colleagues alike. One of his undergraduate students remarked that his course notes are the most well-written and in-depth course notes that I've come across during my entire undergraduate career. Jake is always welcoming and willing to help. His open-door policy for asking help ensures that students fully understand. You can tell that teaching is not just a job for him, but a passion. Fisher was also recognized for his patience by a graduate student. I remember going to him with the same problem multiple times, and he was as patient the first time as he was the second and the third and the fourth. Patience is his character trait. It's also great to know that someone as knowledgeable as Dr. Fisher is positive about the student's growth and success. Fisher's approach to mentorship extends his impact to the chemistry department as a whole, as noted by a colleague. Jake mentored me in such a way that I felt like I was responsible for supervising my students and not just simply keeping an eye on them. Jake Fisher has had the honor of receiving the 2011 Excellence in Science Teaching Award. Mr. Vice Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding achievement to teaching, I ask that you present the Distinguished Teacher Award to Jake Fisher. I now invite Vikas Gupta, alumnus, to the podium.
Vice Chancellor, members of Convocation, ladies and gentlemen. Convocation is an exciting time as we celebrate the incredible accomplishments of all of our graduates. During Spring Convocation, we recognize the recipients of the prestigious Alumni Gold Medal that is awarded to the most distinguished undergraduate student from each faculty. The Alumni Gold Medal signifies an incredible accomplishment that we recognize each recipient for in the presence of their peers who have shared their journey from celebrated student to esteemed alumnus. Graduates, while your status today changes from student to alumnus, your relationship with the University of Waterloo should only grow, as this remarkable institution works to support and celebrate your personal and professional successes. As a proud alumnus myself, I speak from personal experience when I tell you that this chapter in your life provides you with an exciting opportunity to engage with the university and its global network of alumni in a new way. Staying connected will provide you with meaningful and beneficial results. On behalf of my Waterloo alumni, welcome to the exclusive Alumni Club. Vice Chancellor, as a graduate of the university's Faculty of Science with a Bachelor of Science in Honors Mathematical Physics, I'm honored to present to you the 2018 recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Performance in an Undergraduate Program, Ryan Robert Ferguson. It is my pleasure now to invite Feridun Hamdullahpur, President and Vice Chancellor, to address Convocation.
Thanks, Vikas. We have a couple of other duties to perform before I have a chance to address the convocation. But first, we continue recognizing excellence, and this is presented in the form of medals. The Governor General of Canada sends medals to universities to recognize excellence in both undergraduate studies and graduate studies. Total of three silver medals are being presented here at the University of Waterloo during the convocation ceremonies. Total of three for the entire university to recognize excellence in undergraduate studies. And one of these silver medals will be presented here today. I would normally stand here and say, Mr. Chancellor, so I say to myself, I am very pleased to present the Governor General's silver medal for 2018 to Kiana Wen. I'm just a little tiny bit disappointed. her GPA was only 97.7 something. I don't know what went wrong there. Well done, Kiana. Thank you. Our next medal is Governor General's Gold Medal for Academic Merit. And this gold medal for, again, 2018 goes to German Augusta Gomez Rios. We're still under 2 hours. I have 11 minutes and 35 seconds to keep you here. But I think I'll keep it brief. It still looks like a nice sunny day out there. You've been fantastically patient. You've been very cooperative. Thank you so much. We have our future student there. She is having a lovely sleep there. Make sure to stop by the admission office, so we'll start the admission process, and we'll see her here. I want to thank you again for being here on this very important day and being part of the celebration. But if I could ask you to join me to warmly welcome the class of 2018 to the University of Waterloo family. Thank you. You heard a number of wonderful speeches from our honorary degree recipient, from our valedictorian, from our alumni rep, so I'm not going to repeat those, but I just want to talk about something that's been very important to me right from the day you started studying at this university. Parents, family members, you will probably remember the day that you, if you did that, brought your student here, and the day that you said, okay, we're leaving you here, we're going home, we're gonna miss you, or we may celebrate, and your sibling will say, finally, I have an extra room. I talked to you, I talked to many of you. You were excited about being here, but you were also a little bit anxious. You were wondering what it's going to be like. You were not the only one who was anxious. I was one of those as well. We were all extremely excited to have you here at the University of Waterloo because we were delighted that we were getting some brilliant, brilliant students who could have gone and studied at any university in the world, but they chose to come and do it here at the University of Waterloo. So we were blessed to have you here. So what would you do with hundreds, if not thousands, of brilliant students who wanted to come here and study? What will we add further to your brilliance? And as I talk to so many of you here crossing the stage, as I've been talking to so many of you, as many chances as I got, you proved that, yes, there was something here that we could further add. Because as you were going through your studies, we were also working hard, ensuring that you were part of this really big innovative spirit here. You were part of this can-do spirit. They were part of this family that will think outside of the box. We could dare to think differently. We were dare to think, quite different and outside of the box and be very creative. As I spoke to so many of you, you told me some brilliant, wonderful things you will be doing. They are amazing, from your startups You are starting your own startup. One of you said he's going to come and see me when he brings his company to $1 billion level. You will be doing things that are so important, and you're not just limiting to narrow definitions of your areas of study. As was mentioned, we are entering into an area. The pace of change is unbelievable. We are going to places that we've never heard before. So exciting. At the same time, we think that yes, by 2030, the demand for water will definitely exceed it by 30-some% than the supply. At some point in our country and around the world, there will be more people over age 65 than under 14. And there will be so many other challenges, but at the same time, fantastic opportunities. I believe this is what we were able to give you while you were here studying at the University of Waterloo, that you could think in various dimensions, and that will put you in a fantastic leadership position. That is the reason why, when I look into the future, I'm not pessimistic at all. I am fantastically optimistic because you are making it so. Thank you so much for spending the past 4 or 5 years of your time here. However, first thing I want you to do, as soon as this is over, go out and celebrate. You deserved it very well. Next thing I will ask you to do, remain engaged. You've made some fantastic friends here. Keep your connections. You know what? This week, ladies and gentlemen, our family grew to and exceeded 200,000 alumni. 200,000. Do you know how many students we started 61 years ago in 1957? 73 students. Most of you, everywhere around the world, here, anywhere around the world, I visit, I talk to, they say they want to keep connected. They want to keep connected with the university and with their fellow classmates. Please do so. Now you are a member of this fantastic 200,000 plus family. Enjoy it. We will be watching your progress with great pride. Please, you do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, the convocation is adjourned. Thank you.